Prediction markets are opening up a whole new avenue for how people interact with trends, with markets, and with discovering their own areas of profitable expertise that just weren't available until now. Now, just for some context, Polymarket is moving between $7 to $10 billion a month, and it has the New York Stock Exchange holding a $2 billion stake in it. Now, the New York Stock Exchange doesn't just put money in something they don't believe in. And the fact that they've taken such a huge stake in Polymarket means that they believe that this data is valuable enough to move and predict markets. First, let's dive into what Polymarket is now. Then let's talk about the many opportunities you probably don't know exist. Polymarket went from a political platform to an everything platform where people can open up markets on anything. Politics, sport events, what the weather is in France. The odds depend on where people are putting their money, and enough money in a market can sway that market's odds. Right now, that's exactly what's happening in the 2028 race, months before anyone has even voted. So what's actually the biggest thing happening here right now? The 2028 presidential nominee markets. Over $1.25 billion has been traded just on who the Democratic nominee will be, and they're still 2 years out. In early July, Vice President JD Vance said on a podcast that he thinks AOC will be the one leading the Democratic field. Half joking, but half not. She shot back that she hoped he'd be the Republican nominee instead. It went viral, and her number on Polymarket started climbing. As the story started to go viral, she went from 8% up into the mid-teens in just a few weeks. By early August, she'd hit an all-time high, pulling within about 2 points of Gavin Newsom. Just one podcast comment and visible immediate market reaction. That's basically Polymarket's whole personality in just one story. There's a market on almost anything, and the range goes from completely normal to a little unhinged. On the normal end, there's a market on this year's F1 Drivers' Champion, sitting at over $201 million traded. There's one on how many times the Fed will cut rates this year, and one on what price Bitcoin actually hits before the year's out. Then it gets weird. There's a real, actively traded market asking whether the US confirms aliens exist before 2027. And somehow there's one on whether Jesus Christ will return before 2027. Normal, weird, and everything in between. It's all priced, all live, and all trading right now. On social media, some people are just there to string things on. Some genuinely have no idea and pick something anyway. On Polymarket, all of that cost real money. So the price you see is much closer to what people actually believe. Say there's a movie coming out this year that you're actually excited about. Instead of guessing off trailers and internet hype, you can pull up the market for the highest grossing movie of 2026 and see live what people are actually willing to put money on. That's basically the whole platform boiled down into one example. Sports, movies, crypto, a Fed decision, a global event, whatever you're actually curious about, there's a live number attached to it, and that live number updates the second new information drops. Less, there's a poll from last week, and more, here's what people think right now. So how does all of this relate to you? Prediction markets are opening up a genuinely new way for regular people to turn what they know into money in a way that just wasn't possible before. Take Frank, a full-time sports analyst who turned a $420 account into over $3 million. He did this by sticking almost entirely to sports, tennis, and esports markets. The exact stuff his day job already had him analyzing. Then there's a small cluster of traders who quietly built profits just on weather markets, daily temperature bets in cities around the world. One account turned close to $59,000 in profit from nearly 5,000 small disciplined trades. Another bettor turned a single $92,000 bet at 80% odds into $1.1 million on a London temperature call. Not luck, just people who understood forecasting models better than the rest of the market. Then there's Doma, Polymarket's all-time #1 trader by both volume and profit, with nearly $300 million pushed through the platform. Before this, he spent years as a professional online poker player. He just pointed the same one somewhere new, reading probabilities, staying disciplined through losing streaks, knowing when the crowd's price is wrong. He said publicly he doesn't see it as gambling at all, more like research-driven investing. It's not hard to imagine other niches showing up the same way. Someone who spent 15 years in shipping and logistics might read a market on port delays or tariffs, better than almost anyone trading it. The expertise was always there. There just wasn't a direct way to cash in on it before. It's important to remember, however, that for most people who trade on Polymarket, they don't make money. A small slither of accounts take home the bulk of the profits, and the ones who do consistently win usually have a genuine edge. Deep research, a specific skill, or in some cases, information they really shouldn't have had. It's more of a specialist option if this interests you, which brings up the one to watch out for. Trump's own longtime teleprompter operator is currently under investigation for allegedly betting over $100,000 on a rival prediction market, using advanced knowledge of the president's prepared speeches to bet on which words he'd actually say. It's the kind of story that's pushing regulators to start paying much closer attention to this entire space. And here's the part that made me want to make this video in the first place. The company that owns the New York Stock Exchange, Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, invested $2 billion over the past year. And here's why that actually matters. ICE doesn't run casinos, and it's not interested in the betting side at all. What it runs is financial data infrastructure, the kind of real-time pricing feeds that actual trading desks pay serious money for. By taking a stake in Polymarket, ICE is signaling that it thinks these odds are valuable enough to fold directly into the same infrastructure, sitting right alongside the other market data it already sells to institutions. So why would one of the most buttoned up financial institutions on the planet want a piece of a website where people trade on tweets? There's a data operation quietly forming behind all of this, tied directly to ICE. And it's becoming one of the most important, least talked about players in this whole space, which is exactly why I'm covering it in the next video. So make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you very soon with our new ICE video.